Let me know if you see it pop. There it go. All right, all right, all right. Let me see. Let me hear my voice. All right, hello. All right, cool. I don't know. Y'all guys can stream it out or whatever. I know that you see the GRG podcast here. I apologize for that because this is old. This is from last night. This isn't the GRG podcast. This is pretty much uh, the next podcast without Xbox 448 for now. I don't know. We have no idea what the hell happened. I don't know. I don't know. We feel that there's some scandalous stuff going on, but me personally, you know me. If I find out that anything scandalous is going on, I'm gonna call them out. I already got a mindset to already, I don't give two shits about it. But Bot is humble. He's like one of the nicest dudes you could ever that you could ever want to know. And one thing that Bot is about is
Hello,
not
hello.
confrontation. So, you know what I'm saying? So he's gone for right now, taking care of his business, doing whatever he was doing, trying to find out what just happened. He said he was going to try to come back. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But we're going to continue the topic and the discussion, for as long as possible. I hate that I'm doing it because I told him to go on to his mixer, and get started because he can't even start a show right now on YouTube because it seemed like he just got violate. He might got a violation strike, which that's something that I got for something that was absolutely ridiculous, where somebody went to YouTube and said because somebody on GRG was said something about the coronavirus. When I've heard many of people talk about the coronavirus as whatever, but regardless, we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep it live. You know what I'm saying? It said, the violating the terms. I have no idea. I don't know how any of the terms could have been violated. That's one of the reasons why I came to Mixer, so we could have a little bit of freedom to say what we want to, because YouTube is actually really tripping. So even if there wasn't shenanigans, YouTube is really trying to squeeze a lot of content creators, and so it's a problematic situation. But with all that sad shit, let's get to it. Let's go back to what we were discussing and what we was talking about, and hopefully Bot will come in and get back to doing the narrating thing. Right now, I'm pretty sure he's shocked and trying to figure out what's going on. So, um, who was the last time was talking? I think it was Crispy that was talking. We were over here talking about the situation going on with the Lockhart and how much, what I'm saying, and how it benefits. And while I know Pred was on the other side of it, and I myself was having a different thought process about it, but I want to still hear what you had to say, Crispy, and finish up your point if you do remember.
Well, the fact is that the
Hello, hello.
Lockhart should be almost a pong ball, and it's gonna hit the cup perfectly, or it's gonna be just this null and void thing. And the only reason why I think it's gonna be bang ball and cup is because in the end, you got to think about what you get when you invest in the ecosystem, and once people are attached to that, they're going to really enjoy the hell out of it. And that's because a lot of people really don't know what game they really want to play. They see the best, but that doesn't mean that the gameplay itself is going to give you the best. And that's where I argue with people that love PlayStation exclusives, because in the end, you have to think about what they want out of a game. Is it a game or is it a movie? And that's where I have a problem. Any PlayStation exclusive I play has a lot of movie elements. And if I want to watch a movie, I sit back with my beer, I eat some nachos or something, and I watch the damn movie. I don't play the game. I don't want to go through an hour or a half hour cutscene and just sit there and yes, you get enveloped, and all of a sudden, oh, you're gaming now. Oh, thanks. Oh, now I am. Oh, so this is why I say PlayStation, bring me some SOCOM, something like that. Like I need a little multiplayer aspect sometimes. The campaigns in those games were pretty damn spectacular back then. Even Killzone 2, I enjoyed the hell out of that game. So the thing is that I feel that they're focusing on one thing, which they're great at. I'm not going to sit here and deny they're great at it, but at the same time, there are a lot of other gamers that would go into Game Pass and look at all of these games and say, "Oh, well, I'm a 2D side scroller guy. You know what? Let me try this game out." And then all of a sudden you're hooked. And then you have a bunch of other 2D side scrollers. So on top of that, you got great, visually spectacular games in there too. So I don't know. The day and day exclusiveness in Game Pass really makes me think that Lockhart is real because they're looking to get more and more subscriptions. And it's still a step up from the Xbox One X. And there's a lot of less bottleneck involved because I believe they're probably at least the CPUs equal to the Series X, and maybe the GPU is much lower. So in general, it only makes sense because they're making tons of money off the subscriptions. So logically, why not keep doing it?
All right, cool. Now, Fred, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that? Because I know you made your point about it just doesn't make sense to you, economically because of the fact that if you want the better product, then you should go ahead and just save your chips and go ahead and get the Series X. But I mean, from what I said earlier on Xbox channel and for what Crispy is saying, I mean, has that kind of swayed you a little bit, or do you just actually think, nah, man, it's all about just keeping to one console and one console only?
No, I mean, like again, I still think it exists. I think like going like if you go back when they probably created this, the amount of money and effort that they spent in creating the Lockhart could have been used towards saving the money to make the Series X a little cheaper, or more advertising for the Series X. Like I just think it's wasted money. I don't think it's gonna. I don't know. We'll have to wait until the tea leaves get read and shit like that. Holler at me in about a year, and I might change my stance on it. But like it could sell very well, and be the primary console for people trying to get into the next gen. I think it all depends on what's under the box. If it's a 4K 60 box with, well, not, let me back up, because I think it's going to be, from what I understand, it's going to be a 1080p box. We don't know the spec yet.
I think maybe 1080p, 1440p. Some
1440p.
some games will be 4K, but 30. But
Yeah.
it's most primarily a 1440p box.
Depending on what's in the box, let's say it's a 1440p box, 60 frames per second with ray tracing. That's a win. Like, and it's $299. That's a win. I don't think that's possible, to be honest with you, at that price. But if they can pull it off, good for them. But I just think for the majority of the hardcore gamers are not going to pick that one up. They're going to go with the bigger one. The lower end casual gamers are really going to get the Xbox One X because it's going to be significantly cheaper by then, if they can find one, if there's any on the shelf. Or they're just going to like say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and save my chips and get the other one, get the bigger box. I don't know at this point because it's kind of hard to tell because we don't know what is what and what's going to be the pricing and stuff like that. There's too many options right now of where they can go with this thing. So I just don't think it's a good idea. I guess I'm saying that from my standpoint as a guy that knows I'm going to get the bigger box regardless. So like when I go in the store, like let's say I have $500 to spend, I'm not even gonna fucking look at that one. I'm just gonna go straight to the big box. So for the people who can't afford that big box, I mean, I think they can probably get the same unless the games are there at the launch.
Hmm.
Like I mean, like the hardcore, like the ones that people really, really want. Um, I just think that most people are just gonna either wait till they can afford it, or just kind of hold off and just pick up the series, the Xbox One X, at a super cheap price at that time. It's probably like $199 by then, so it's not there already. But we won't know until all this shit comes out. So I want to say one thing too, since you guys are starting to fill in here. Like I tweeted out the link to this. Make sure you guys retweet this because a lot of people don't know that we're here now. So hit that share button here. the little icon there, and share out K Mega's stream, and make sure everybody else who was on Xbox stream sees it in Twitter, so we can get people back in here so we can finish up these topics tonight.
Right, and I feel bad because I mean, thank God I didn't get rid of the GRG setup because I normally scrap it and get ready for the next week, but I don't know, man, just luck. But I like I said, I feel bad because Xbot works so hard on his podcast and he does such a phenomenal job. He's like I said earlier in the show, he is a pioneer of the gameplay. Four Guys with Four Quarters, I believe was one of the first people. I'm sure that there was somebody that did it.
Retro too.
Yeah,
but,
and retro
we
as well.
we do gameplay live usually.
Right,
so.
and the stuff that y'all do on retro is crazy. I had a lot of fun on y'all's show Thursday.
Dude, I really enjoyed having you, dude, because it's like let's have some knowledge up in here, because sometimes, man, these guys just go on rants, and I'm like, come on, man.
Well, y'all still went on y'all's rants and y'all made those phone calls to other people, man. That was crazy.
Well, Super was hilarious that night. He was drunk. I think he really was drunk. So
he probably was
too, man. Real quick, on some real shit. I swear to God, man, if it was one of you fucking Xbox guys that did this at a fucking spite, I'm gonna be fucking pissed at you. You're gonna hear the wrath from friends.
We go.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt about it.
All of us know too many people. We gonna find out eventually. Trust me.
Yeah,
we gonna find out. Because we don't play, dude. Like we're cool with everybody. Like, dude, I don't hate PlayStation. A lot of people think I do. I don't hate it. I played it for fucking 12 years, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, we know that the policies and the things that YouTube is trying to change, that could definitely been the factor. But the way that the show, I've been, if you've been with Next Podcast from the very beginning, you know that I've been there from the very beginning, and I've never, even with me doing what I do, I've never had a show cancel itself.
Live stream too.
Live stream. It's never happened in the history of me being on YouTube. So
I can think of some shows I've been on that should have been canceled live stream.
Right. I mean, there's been plenty of shows where I would have thought, like, how is this getting passed? But to me, it does seem like it's a little dirty stuff. But yeah, but he didn't deserve that. I know that I give Xbot a lot of shit, but man, that he's a genuine friend. I have a lot of respect for Xbot and for the hard work and dedication he does for the fan base that he has and for everything that he does, man. And he should be in here still hosting. I told him to do it on his Mixer channel. He just, I know him like a book.
He's obviously upset. Yeah,
he's upset.
And plus, he wants to figure out what the hell is going on.
Right. So he still might come through, but if not, then I'm gonna hold it down the best way that I can for my bro. But
let's move on to the next topic, man.
Yeah, let's get on to the next topic. And this is right here. See, this is why we need Xbot for this, because this is technical talk, and I'm not so much into the technical side of things, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. So, here we go. Here we go right here. Sony's cooling solution patent. Do you guys think that it's viable? You know what I'm saying? You said pass, you don't want to talk about it? Oh, see, thank you, because I was like, one of the things, like, I seen it.
You know what? Let's throw a curveball. I mean, you're technically the host right now. Let's go into the Game Pass viability for games that we didn't think were going to happen.
I've already talked about that. We did Devin the Gamer earlier on Don's Mixer, and that will get pushed out on my channel here in the next couple of days. So that is great, because we already talked about it, and that's perfect. That's perfect.
I'll say the chat from hearing all that technical shit, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you, because I mean, I know a lot of people like the technical stuff, but K Mega is not the one to do it and break it down. Bot, if you come in here, then we'll let you do that, but I'm not gonna touch it. I just think I just hope the console looks good and it don't overheat. That's all I care about.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's all I care about. So anyway, I'll move on. All right, so about Game Pass. Now, there was a video that came out. It was actually a stream. It was a podcast from VentureBeat, and they were talking to some of the developers from Gears Tactics, and they were talking a little bit about Gears Tactics itself, but they were mostly talking about what's going on within. See, Don's hit me up. Don don't even know yet, so I don't. Don's like, what's happened to the show? But he haven't hit me up yet, so I got to hit him up. So, but anyway, so basically, what is going on is they were asking questions about Game Pass, and they were asking some of the hard hit questions that a lot of people be making up about. Hey, a lot of the games that comes out are filler games. Will Xbox pretty much make these games for Xbox as just game filler? Will we ever see uh, big budget games? And the first thing that one of the individuals said, he said that if it wasn't for Game Pass, for the success of Game Pass, Gears Tactics would have never been thought of or would never been made. So I'm going to go to you first, Fred, and get your thoughts about this. Now, I mean, let us know what you think in regards to the viability of Game Pass and the reasoning of why it is necessary to have it.
So
If you think otherwise, then change up. But I'm just thinking, you would be on my
I
side
didn't read.
because
I ain't on your side. I didn't read the article. So I don't know. I don't know what was all said in the article because I didn't read it.
uh,
I did kind of see it like posting up on Twitter, but like this is something that's been kind of going with this generation. You get these kind of like either incomplete games that use Game Pass or use um, extra money that in game transactions stuff like that to make the game better. Like think of games like Sea of Thieves and like simple games like that that kind of came out unfinished, in a sense, and they've grown. Like they're growing games. Like it's almost like a new genre if you want to think about it. Like they come out with something and as they are still trying to create the game, they're listening to the fans, they're listening to the people out there to make the game better, what they want, what needs to be taken out, the input and stuff like that. That's why you're seeing all these surveys about what can we do to make this game better. Like so Game Pass is kind of similar to that. Like you're paying for a subscription based service. Those guys are seeing that money and that revenue coming directly to them to help make the game better. Like they need that money because for whatever reason, even though like Gears, those guys they're pretty well off working under Microsoft already. But like you have these little passion projects, these little smaller games that they want to get out there that are going to generate more money for them. Like because you're buying like skins and like the weird shit you got. I don't pay for that shit, but some people out there love that shit. I want this suit. I want this wingsuit or some stupid shit like that. Y'all buy that shit, right? For like $3-5, right? There's enough of you people out there doing that. It's gonna help another game at some point in time. So like I appreciate you guys for doing that for me because I don't do it, but like, hey, good on you for wanting that wingsuit, for $5. That money goes somewhere, and that's good that I see that Game Pass is actually there's people out there talking about because I've heard negative things about Game Pass and I've heard positive things about Game Pass, but I've heard way more positive things about Game Pass than I've heard negative. If that makes any sense, like when I see people talk about Game Pass, like developers, it's like they always say, I would not have been able to do this without Game Pass. So obviously it's working. Like what they're doing there is actually doing something. And if they had to come out with a couple of smaller games to make a bigger game, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's just putting more games out there for people to play. And a lot of those games, some of you people complain that, oh, well, this isn't my type of game. Because there's a lot of games in Game Pass. I ain't gonna lie. They call it Game Pass filler for a reason. There's a lot of games in there I will never touch. But there's a lot of games that I will play too. Like I would never thought to play. Like even games I've played before, I may go back and revisit because now they're in Game Pass, like Red Dead. I finished that game like last year. I might go back in it now because it's in Game Pass. It's because it's there, and I'm like, oh shit! It's like a reminder to me, like, oh shit, that game's still there, and it's in Game Pass now. There might be more people playing it now because it's in Game Pass. So now I'll probably pick it up and play it again. So like, it has its purpose, and so for people sitting here talking about it, it's like, oh, it's a subscription based service. It sucks, and nobody wants to do that shit. Yeah, people actually do want to do that shit, and it's obvious because other companies are doing it too. They're coming out with their own services the same way, like Ubisoft and EA and stuff like that. So there's a market for that stuff. And obviously, and I don't see where the money goes. I have no idea how it gets distributed from when you purchase a game in there or just even subscribe to the service itself. But that money's going to those people some way, some shape, fashion, or form, and it's helping them do things. So you can't knock that from just from a gamer's perspective, you can't knock that. Even if you may not like the model, it's doing things for other people to help them create more and better games.
No, I totally agree. Look who graced the podcast, and that is the Don. I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure you're
next
trying to figure
podcast was over. What the hell's going on
no,
here?
no. Next podcast is not over. Next podcast got shut down.
GRG'd.
What happened?
Okay, so basically,
I'll bring it back, guys. Go ahead and finish this up.
all right, go ahead. So we were having a discussion. We were having our discussion. I was saying something, and Crispy started talking, and we were basically talking about the whole Lockhart situation,
Mhm.
and the channel just got shut down. It just got
The
shut off.
Fox channel's gone.
No, his account's not gone, but they removed his channel. I mean, his show. We were having over 200 and some people watching, and it was climbing, and all of a sudden it just got shut down, and then they removed it and said it was by violation. Now, Don, you've been
What
with
violation are they talking about?
that's the point. We don't know. I have no idea. Bot's looking into it right now. I said, hey man, why don't you start up your mixer, and we'll finish up the remainder of the topics. But he went
Damn.
ahead and he was,
Yeah.
we know Bot was hot, and he still tried to keep
Yeah,
his
because he worked his ass off to.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
right.
Damn, that's like
Right.
not even funny. That's like not
Bot
even.
didn't even do his little
cool.
laugh. Hey, he didn't do that. He didn't do none of that. He didn't do that.
None of that laughing. Oh,
No,
damn.
none of that. He was pissed.
There
'cause he
was
didn't do
no
the
laughing.
No,
None.
he was. He does that. No, there was none of that.
Seriously, so it just went. Boop.
Yep, it just shut off in the middle. And as you know, we've been doing this for a while. I've never experienced a show to just shut down like that unless it was a technical issue, never from a violation issue. So obviously, there's only two things. YouTube is changed some more policies to where their algorithms is doing some weird stuff, or somebody uh said something to try to get that boy's channel, that boy's video shut down. So
Keep in mind, we didn't talk
Yeah.
about the T virus or nothing. Like nothing.
No. Nobody wasn't saying that. So
So yeah, well, man, you guys here that are on, well, I guess we'll call this GRG light because it's it's kind
yeah.
of neck leftovers, but yeah, but man, yeah, I will say this: do everything you can to help that boy out. He's
Yeah, no
worked
doubt.
really hard, and just get the word out there. That's not cool. Whatever happened, it's not cool. Hopefully it's just an error, and they can fix it. But who knows? I mean, YouTube's like dealing with kids with knives, man. It's just there's a reason why I haven't really got myself involved over there. So
Right. It's absolutely asked you. So we were just gonna finish up this topic and then another topic, and then we're just gonna kind of set
okay.
it, go our own way. So I mean, if you cared to want to talk about this, I know we talked about it earlier on Devin the Gamer, but if you want to
The Game
give your
Pass stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
the
I
Game
mean,
Pass stuff, yeah.
I think Pred, what little bit I caught from Pred, I mean, he's right on point. Like, there's every consumer contributes something, right? And so from a gamer's perspective, I would say when someone buys all the rec packs and like in a game, or all the DLC, um, or gets into a game that they may have not, or just all that money is going back into these studios, going back into these publishers, going back into the platform providers, which in turn makes development more stable. It allows people that have money to take more risk. That's always a net positive. It would be a smaller or bigger game. Gamers are, the community of gamers is growing regardless. How far it will grow, that's a different story, but it is still growing. And so more, you have to have games to fulfill that demand out there, and this is a way to do it and keep people engaged, keep people from falling off from one generation to the other, that sort of stuff. And it's just been a net positive overall. And if it's studio that hasn't been a positive for them, they're not going to continue to go with the service. And that's what keeps Microsoft in check, to make sure the service is worth it for their publishers just as much as it is for the end users, you guys. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, Crispy?
The fact is that we're at a point in time where subscriptions make a difference. And in the end, you could sit here and say people aren't gamers. Well, when they play a flat fee or a fat fee, as some people think of it as, and you have to sit there and analyze why they would pay it, and then you look at all of the games involved, I think Microsoft is going more for the subscription based part of it, just because they've added so many studios and they plan on releasing at least new content in some way, shape, or form for a period of time. And in the end, you have to get mind share. And, maybe not all of them are AAA bangers, but people are still talking about them. And that's where you go and say, okay, we see you. We understand that, you're not going to give us the God of Wars and the Last of Us or even the Gears, but all of a sudden you release a game like Gears Tactics, which is totally different. And they released it on PC for a reason, because it's either you subscribe to PC Game Pass or you buy it on Steam, because they don't care. They're getting your money. They're a company, you got to make money to be a company. So in the end, I don't know. I mean, we're in a different realm. We're Netflix has paved the way. If a lot of people don't realize that, Netflix has made everything the way it is now, and you could not like it, and that's fine. But a lot of people like it.
Yeah, that part is true. Do you guys think that PlayStation should make the same type of moves later on? I mean, implementing their own different type of uh, situation with PlayStation Now?
I think the keyword is their own, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can borrow a little bit from Microsoft, and borrow a lot from Microsoft. That's cool. But I want to see what, as a platform provider, and as a developer, I want to see them, what unique spin do they put on it that can push the industry further forward, right? What unique ideas can they bring to the table if they start thinking that mindset? And that's the part I'm kind of looking forward to. And then that's going to perpetuate Microsoft. Oh, we never thought of that. And then it kind of directs, and then the checks and balances are, gamers, right? If the gamers are willing to spend the money for that or not, if they don't find value in it, then it's not going to be a hit. But if they do find value in it, it helps these things grow for those consumers. So I really think I really hope they do, actually.
All right, Pred, you got anything you want to say to this before we move on?
You asked him a question. I didn't hear what it was.
I was basically asking, should PlayStation implement some of, having their own thing happen with PlayStation Now, similar to Game Pass?
I think they will eventually go that route. I just don't like Sony kind of like they tend to like lag behind with that, like the innovation part of it, like that piece. In a sense, I mean, they do some things like VR and stuff like that, but when it comes to like this completely pushing everything forward, like they don't typically step out and be the front runner for that kind of stuff. So I think if they see that it's profitable and they can actually afford to do it and put forth the effort into the ecosystem, I think they will at some point. I mean, I think that they're moving things to PC is just a start. I think it will eventually work itself out into that. Like, because some of the stuff they have, those first party games they came out with a couple of years ago are slowly going into PS now, but I don't think they'll ever do day and day like Microsoft does. I just don't think they will. I mean, they'd have to get a lot of partnerships involved in it to do that. And I think that, like I said this before in the past, one of the things that Microsoft has done is they've gone out to other people. Like they're doing something completely different than what EA is doing and what Ubisoft is doing. Like their games from those two companies are specifically their own games, whereas Microsoft is actually pulling in games from other people. They're pulling in games from Ubisoft, from EA, not really EA, but like I'm trying to think of all the people they have under them, like Bethesda. They're putting games in there from other companies, whereas other companies that do streaming services are not doing that. And I think that will probably, for Sony to do something the way Microsoft is doing, they'd have to do something similar. They can't just put PlayStation games in there. They have to put games in there from other companies like if not day and date, pretty damn close. I can see it happening. I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
I got you. Peter McFighter. I looked at the tweet. I mean, you got to explain what was that for. I mean, I don't know if. Okay,
I was looking for that tweet because I didn't see it. What
I
was he
see it.
talking about?
He posted it in there. I just clicked on it.
There it
He
is.
sent the link. But he
Mhm.
basically, I guess maybe McCaffrey might be thinking that there might not be a Lockhart. I don't know. I have no idea. That's all. The only part that I caught on there was basically it said, let me look. He said, "Who knows? I may end up being super wrong about that thought. We'll see. I have nothing else that I see that's worth interest to me."
Oh, it's gone.
I'm looking at it now. It says
Is it-
the rumor.
No, it's there.
Oh, it's from that tweet's from 2019.
Oh, is it 2019? Oh, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
He basically said the rumor was that Lockhart was less powerful than Scarlet. If Lockhart was back on the table or was never actually taken off the table, I sincerely hope it's for 1 year or more after launch. In my opinion, dropping 2 consoles at next gen launch won't go well. And McCaffrey tweeted that out in 2019. And then I don't know if this was. I'm looking at the whole.
He responded back in 2020. Is what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, he responded back 11 minutes ago. Who knows? It may end up being super wrong about that. We'll see.
yeah, that's the part that I've seen. Okay.
So he's saying he may be backstepping on it. Yeah. Then again, like I've been saying, like I haven't seen enough to make me believe it's real. In regards to that, so
I was saying that earlier too before we got cut off.
yeah, like it doesn't mean I'm wrong either. Like
they could just be really good at hiding it from us.
The victors go the spoils, right? Like if they're people are sticking with it and saying, hey, that's the case, but I can only talk about what my experience is, and it's something that hasn't been talked about a whole bunch at all. Matter of fact, more whispers came out around February, but that's right around when people start posting articles and stuff like that. So
wouldn't there be dev kits out for that though? Would they have a dev kit out for that?
So the argument that I have for it is this: they don't have to give you a performance profile for that console. Most developers right now are developing cross-gen, so they're developing for the next PlayStation 5, next Xbox Series X, and the base model consoles of the PS4 and the Xbox One, right? So if you're already doing that wide of a performance profile, adding something in between is really not going to hurt you. The rumors are based around, they're talking about the T-flop difference between things. It's basically the different generation architecture puts it right about Xbox One X GPU performance, even though it's a lesser T-flop number because of architecture differences. Literally, it's almost kind of identical because if you take AMD, they'll say, if 40% more efficiency per whatever, right? A general rule for people that are, when they see that sort of stuff, take whatever efficiency gains they say and cut that in about half.
So it's like saying we got this game for 90.
It's like ideal scenario, right? Like that's an ideal environment where you get 40% increases. Now, so that being said, cut that in half, you're right at what the Xbox One X performance is on the GPU side of things, and you're adding a faster CPU and more RAM. You're not making things more difficult. Matter of fact, it's just one more performance profile to kind of switch everything over for, and I think it's a natural bridge. But the thing is, if you look at the Xbox One X development, not the Series X, but the Xbox One X development kit, it's an S and an X all in one unit. They can very well do the exact same thing with the Series X dev kit, and just release a performance profile when they're ready. What's unique though is the rumor of the take-home consoles that everyone's talking about, air quotes. And it's that final phase of testing. But when did they start doing that with the Series X?
I don't know, because remember that there were a lot of people that were asking.
When did Phil start taking home consoles?
Last year, wasn't it?
No, this year.
No, it was last year.
It was last year.
Was it last year?
Right before Christmas, I believe.
Right. Yeah, it's right around there. So
okay.
So I don't know if that It's
2
you
months
know,
ago,
I don't
3
know
4
if that
months.
relates to the same stage of what we're talking about with
Mm-hmm.
the Lockhart that people are talking about. If that's the case, I wonder if it comes out this year. I really do.
Well, see, that's what
Uh,
we were talking about
yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, and that would make sense why I haven't seen performance profiles. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk about it behind the scenes. There's some, just so you guys know, there's some, but there's not enough, and it's not heavy enough, and for me to go, okay, that's something I want to invest in, right? And I can only report what I see. That's not under NDA, and it's just not something that's I have signed under an NDA. Nothing that's people are talking about. It's just even today, it's not talked about that much. So I'm curious. I'm curious where it is, and and then as I said, if people have guessed it right and put themselves out there, the more power to them for getting it right. But I can only go off of what I've seen. So
Right. But yeah, also remember that there were articles that were out there like, man, this Series X, developers were saying that they didn't get dev kits, um, and that was leading to a lot of people making a lot of speculations about was the Series X real and all that other stuff. So it could be to where they are holding back to maybe make this console this Lockhart come out maybe a little bit later after they go through the initial sales of the
well,
launch of the
if
Series
if you look at
X, and then
if you look at
do it
the
a couple
launch of
months
most
later.
consoles, right? There is a certain percentage of people. They're the ones that are going to spend the big bucks, right? They're
Right.
going to spend the premium. They're going to buy a lot more games at launch. They're going to do all that sort of stuff. And I think it's very clear that's happened every console generation. But there's a certain time frame after that exists that they want to move on to something better, but they may not want the latest and greatest. They just want something better than what they have. Um, and that would make sense. And it would also make sense from like the chip production where you have cut down variants of the chip, right? And that's where you're reusing and recuperating your costs that way. So I mean, there's a lot of things that can make sense for existing, um, and they definitely would have to plan out that way. It's not something you land by accident. This takes a lot of planning to get there. Um, but I just don't know. It's such a strange rumor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would be. And Handy, you know what? Look, I want to be there with you, bro, but the only way that I could see that the Series X is going to be $400 is if PlayStation decides to take a loss and have the PlayStation 5 be $400 because I
Well,
think Xbox was going to try to match one way or the other.
well, the thing is, if the Lockhart is real, let's say if it is a real thing, right?
Hmm.
That's one way they recuperate costs. They're not throwing away chips anymore, right? They're using those chiplets essentially, cut down variants of those in a lesser tier console. And that's the thing that drives up cost on production, right? Is when how many of the things you produce and how much of that shit you have to throw away, is a big part of that. And so they're able to recuperate costs there. They're also able to do larger production runs, which is cloud and home console. Those things will help drive down cost. And if you look at it from a competitor standpoint, you're only making one piece of hardware, and you're making less smaller production runs. That drives up cost, um, unless your yields are like crazy good, which they may be. We'll see. But I would say like the rule book has changed a little bit if these rumors are true. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. ABA Cab 72, yes. YouTube was acting crazy, and Xbot is looking into it right now. He just said go ahead and just do the thing, and so we wanted to finish talking these last two topics and then just get out of here. I mean, we got one more topic to talk about, but people wanted to kind of hear more about the whole Lockhart situation because it is very intriguing. And the one thing about it with me is that, after, I don't, for check out the GRG podcast. I got to do my plugs. I got to do it. So, we talked about it from the information that I got. It's definitely real. The price is $299. And it has and the fact that it will not bottleneck. The reason for it is because it will not bottleneck the Series X. So basically, it's made for it to be that console to where it runs smooth. There's no crazy transitions like we were
Lower
hearing.
resolution, higher frames per second than
Yes.
what we're used to. And frames per second mattered, people. Like it really does. Like, I was in denial for a little bit. I never really said it, but you start playing games that are at 60 frames per second, it matters. It really does.
I don't think they will sacrifice that, to be honest with you, because if you're hitting the same GPU performance as an X and you had a faster CPU, why would you need to sacrifice the graphics side of things, the resolution? I don't think you have to.
It only makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yes, I mean,
Right.
that's what to kind of put in perspective for a lot of people. It means you can have X performance, but have a higher frame rate or higher physics every time, essentially. And those are where most of people are developing their more CPU overhead as of right now. So
Right, and also, look, the one thing with Mixer is that you can do your own little gifs. You can put in some gifs. If somebody says something shocking, you can go ahead and spin some zappers, and it just put your little and put your little gif in there. You know what I'm saying? To kind of let you know your excitement or your disgust, or you know what I'm saying, your hype level, because it's all about just doing the damn thing. As I like to go ahead and do it. So I think there's a lot of advantages with Mixer. I think Don's seen it as well of what we're trying to do. So, maybe if the situation comes, if bot is a copyright strike, um, the problem is that this is the reason why I came over here to do my live shows, is because they won't allow you to do live shows for 3 months. So that's pretty crazy. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it cuts back on getting uh the views, especially because I mean I what I'm saying, maybe Xbox could hit over 200 or some views at one time. But the point of the matter is yeah, normally we can hit anywhere from, like, on GRG, from 70 to 110 or something. And it's a lot smaller than that, but it's the fact that you have so much more freedom to do what you want to do, to say what you want to say, and then you can repost it on YouTube if you want to cut some couple of things out, and just re-upload it, and for people that just primarily likes to listen to the content on YouTube. But YouTube is tripping. That's all I want to know. But
It's
anybody,
tripping
yeah,
hard,
it's
bro.
tripping hard.
What
So
the hell, dude?
so does anybody else want to keep on talk? Has anything else they want to add about the whole Lockhart situation before we go to the last topic?
Nah.
All right, cool. All right, so here we go. And Don, you're going to be feeling like this is deja vu because we're going to be talking about it again, because this was Xbox last topic, and this was talking about the mighty Halo. So, uh, I'm going to have to go ahead and go into my little folder right here. And I know that what Bot wanted to talk about, because now see, I don't know if he had this information. I'm sure that he had, but um, if not, and for the people that's listened earlier, you're going to hear the same thing on Devin the Gamer. But if for you new here, I'm going to have to read off some of the things that's been leaked out about the Halo Infinite campaign. And the first person I'm going to go to about this is going to be Crispy, because I know that he doesn't really play Halo like that. He's a primarily Gears head, but I do want to hear what he thinks about this. So let me go ahead and read this off. All right. So the information that we got here is that there will be 25 main missions on Halo Infinite, totaling for a 20-hour campaign. There will be overall 35 missions, 15 additional hours on the side missions, so it's totaling to 35 hours for the campaign based on the content, not including collectibles, Easter eggs, and other hidden goods. The skulls return and are holdable, much like they are in Halo 3. 25 main missions all feature Master Chief as the playable character. Now, the side missions, when you unlock them and beat them in the main mission, the feature a different playable character, as they take place concurrently with the missions that unlock them. Each main mission will unlock anywhere from 0 to 3 side missions. All missions, main and side, will be launchable from the main menu at any time after unlocking them. So you do not have to worry about missing a side mission if you journey ahead. The featured characters that will be in the side missions include Kelly, Linda, Fred, Jerome, Alice, Douglas,
Hello.
Palmer, Locke, Buck, Val, Tanaka, Arbiter, Atriox, and let me be country, Don. Let Lavore. I don't know. Somebody correct me on that. I have no idea. I know who the
It's
character.
it's Swan Healy. Who cares, right? So like,
It's Swahili. Okay, Swahili. Anyway, so okay, so he's an elite. He's a super elite. I do know who he is. I just maybe said the name absolutely wrong. So excuse me
oh, I
for
know which one you're referring to. It's the one that was supposed to babysit the Arbiter
yes.
on that mission. Got you.
Yeah,
And
okay, so
it kind of pushed him around. Okay, gotcha.
okay, so after beating the campaign, you will unlock the new mode called exploration mode. Which lets you explore the open world environments without being restricted to the campaign. As your multiplayer Spartan 2, the locations include Installation 7, Installation 04C, the Ark, Earth, and Reach, as well as one more location I won't mention because of the fact that it'll be a spoiler to the main story, which I kind of feel that it'll be something that's locked into the Flood, but that's a whole nother discussion. Um, Playable elites return to multiplayer with full armor customization, along with introduction to playable brutes. However, brute customization is limited. Elite customizations work into just like how the customizations work into Reach. It also says erect weapons and vehicles will not return into Halo Infinite except for a select few, but they will be live on as weapon skins instead of a weapon skin supporting gun. Most notably, Oathsworn and Norin Fang, which will be used by Kelly and Linda respectfully. All right, so okay, you got all the juice. And first off, Crispy, do you believe any of this? And then, and if you do believe any of this, what is your whole thoughts about this leak?
I believe 50% of it. The only
Okay.
reason why I believe 50% is because I believe with the Act 2 and 3 in Gears 5 was a complete and total experiment. That's what I'm thinking. Because in the end, you have two franchises that are near and dear to the Xbox ecosystem. Okay. So why not use the one that has a sustainable, because a lot of people don't realize I still play the game and I still, get involved with a bunch of noobs that have no idea what they're doing. Okay. And what I'm saying is that the graphical fidelity that Xbox can provide, especially with next gen involved, would be insane, on top of having gameplay that will constantly get you back into it. And you can go back, and a lot of people haven't read a certain article, I can't remember what it is, about Halo and what it should have been and what they made it. And the one thing is, we love all of the cut scenes, we love all this and that. So imagine going through all of your normal Halo experience, but then you get to the end and you can unlock things after. And it's almost like Destiny and Halo made a baby. And that's what it sounds like.
Can you please not salt the name of Halo with Destiny, please?
Well, you know what? But there's still a huge fan base for that game.
Which
you know what
one?
I'm saying? Destiny.
It's
Halo has been hurt.
It's only an eighth of their player base that bought the game.
An eighth of their player base on what platform?
All platforms.
All platforms.
So PC, Xbox, and PlayStation,
Switch.
and that's being generous. It actually could be less. Lower
You know
than
what?
that.
I don't think Destiny is on the Switch.
It's not. I was joking.
It's not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
some
you're
data.
right.
I need some data.
I just
mean,
gave you. It's 1/8 of the player base that bought Destiny 2.
He doesn't believe you.
I don't believe you.
I've been
I don't.
telling Bob for forever. I've been giving him the links. I've been giving him. I mean, you can call it what you want, but that's what it is.
Give
Oh,
the links.
and you forgot
ago?
Stadia. It is on Stadia.
I checked it 2 days ago because I'm trying to understand because they keep saying they're successful, right? So it's taken for their word, and what does that number look like? And I'm trying to understand from a game as a service what that.
Well,
looks like.
here's my problem with that statement is that Bungie, left Activision, and it's like, I mean, how are they going to sustain themselves unless you're telling me that like Microsoft bought Bungie?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I don't
understand why you
just
jumped to
saying.
that conclusion. I'm just telling you what the numbers
I'm just saying, like,
Okay,
how are you gonna
gentlemen.
sustain yourself?
Okay, listen. You can agree to disagree, but the whole point of this is stick to the topic. List, what do you believe and what do you? I mean, you said it was on. You believe 50% of it. You believe that it's Destiny. Part of the multiplayer is Destiny-esque. Go ahead. Don will have his say. So but I don't want it to keep going
What I'm
back and
saying
forth.
is that
Pred's got to
Talk
go
about
to bed
Halo.
soon.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm good tonight.
Oh, okay. You good tonight? All right.
Halo has a certain intrigue about it that Destiny never will have. You know what I'm saying? Like you have players that have played as long as we have, and you have your first person shooter. The first one you played was Halo. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So the one that he actually got into, that you played multiplayer and everything else. Now, they had the multiplayer, they had the single player at one point, and it's just like you've lost yourself. And you build a new engine, you invest all this money into it. There's something else than just what we are expecting, which is a campaign and a multiplayer. I think that there's something to it. You know what I mean? There's got to be something else that involves itself. Now, in general, like my favorite Halo is Halo 3. The cinematics, everything else were amazing, but the gameplay was very involved. And I would love to see that again. And a lot of people could disagree with me. They say Reach, everything else.
Explain that when you say involved.
It was all like the cinematics came, and then all of a sudden you're in the fight. You know what I mean? So you're enveloped. You're like, oh, I gotta save Earth. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they kind of lost that in 4 and 5, but at the same time, they had certain aspects of them that still made them really good games, but everybody ignores it because it's just another Halo. So why not make a Halo that's not just another Halo? And I feel like even though it's a 4chan post, which a lot of people are like, yep, and I'm with them, but it only makes sense to kind of bring the game to another level. And I like I said, I almost feel like Gears 5 was like a little like test area, and a lot of people didn't hate all the traversal, even though I hated it. And that's me as a gear. Act 2 and 3 are bullshit in my opinion. But at the same time, you had relic weapons, you had things to find, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. So imagine you have actual things to find, and then you can go co-op with people and this and that. We don't know what's going on with this game. We haven't even seen any gameplay. So we don't know what they're actually thinking. But in general, like, it's intriguing.
Okay. So I mean, okay. So I do have to ask you one more question though, because I mean it's you didn't like the traversal in Gears 5, so you are basically wanting Halo to go back to the older way of playing, to where there's
You
not
are correct.
okay.
Yes.
So no running, no power, no powers within the suit unless you get enhancements.
But that's me. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I mean, it's your opinion. I'm just asking you. I had to ask you that.
No. I completely agree with you.
You act like I'm
decided.
shaming you or something because you said
No,
that's just me. I mean, what's the
no.
problem here? I mean, just
No.
you know,
I'm a very grounded like I
All right.
love Division
Uh-huh.
because it's very grounded. And yes, you have special powers and magical things. Like you know, it's tech from what they put it out, but it's magical, but it's still a grounded game. I can't float above people. I can't, dude. I hated Halo 3 multiplayer, but I loved the campaign because you really didn't have any of those aspects in it. Now you separate both, you know, the campaign and the multiplayer, it usually works, okay? But at the same time, you have to experiment with things. You can't just do the same thing over and over again. And that's where I almost feel like, you know, if Gears 5 went Act 1 and Act 4 and went all the way through that game, it's either going to say it's a masterpiece or it's the same Gears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But instead, Act 2 and 3 were very different than what we're used to playing with Gears. Is it the same kind of gameplay? Yes, it is. And you can't change that because if you do, you might as well call it another game. Okay. So it's still Gears, but it was very taxing for me. It was annoying. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to one way. And am I saying that what they did is the worst thing in the world? Absolutely not. I think they tried to innovate, and I appreciate that without like destroying the gameplay itself. But at the same time, it was very annoying. And what I'm saying is if you add more things into the environment, things to pick up, things to learn, everything else, I think it would have been an even better game, a game that I actually would have been interested in because I love games like Fallout and stuff like that. Like Fallout 3, I beat the hell out of that game. You know what I mean? So you're constantly finding things, you're constantly finding new weapons and this and that. Imagine they did that with a Halo, maybe after your cinematics and everything else. That would be pretty cool.
No, I mean, I hear you. I hear you. And listen, I want to say this because Squeamish was asking what game was this in the background. It's Quantum Break. Excuse me for my my novice gameplay. It's been a while since I was playing again.
Yeah, I was like, man, what are you doing?
Yeah, because I was remembering trying to punch the dudes or take the
off the back.
yeah, take the power out of the back, and I was hitting the wrong button every time that I got close to him, and I was like, shit, I already recorded this stuff.
Quantum
so
Break deserves the sequel.
I did that with Rise too when I went back to it.
I know, I saw that. You know, so yeah. So you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna fraud the public on my gameplay. I'm gonna show it. And yes, I forgot. I didn't go and I didn't look at the controls, and I just came in, just went straight through because I've already beaten the game. But I kind of wanted to show people what they've been missing if they've never played this game. I mean, people were actually not playing this game because the media was dogging it out because of resolution. That to me was absolutely grotesque. So yeah, excuse me for being a noob, especially on not doing the grabbing moves and animations and stuff like that. But hey, you know what I'm saying? I did get past it. So anyway, and shut your mouth, Fred, because I didn't say I wasn't going to do it, but I'm glad you said it because yes,
yeah,
that rise, yeah.
In a while, you forget the controls. And
You
like,
do. I was like, what? I said, what's the damn button to grab? I forgot. And then I got stole on in the face. So all right, so all right, let me go to you, Fred. Now, you remembered everything that I said, right?
I don't remember what the question was because Crispy was talking too much.
Oh wow. Okay, so let me kind of give a little rough draft. Okay, so basically, they're saying that the Halo campaign is going to be
gotcha.
Yeah, it's going to be about a 20 hour to 20 to 25 hour campaign. With the side missions, it's going to be 35 hours. It's going to have playable characters, which is going to be Blue Team, part of Red Team, all of Team Osiris.
I came in at the perfect time.
Oh, you did come in at the perfect time,
What's
but
going on, people?
Yeah, but you got to wait your turn, so sit down and relax.
So shut your ass up. It's my
I'm the one who did all the research and figuring out. Do you want me to read off what the hell they
I've already read it, but you go right ahead, bot. This is you. So go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
All right.
You got it. All right.
25 main missions every time. every time you beat a
you gotta hear it
mission.
again. You gotta hear it again.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Every time
And
you
you gotta
beat
hear
a
it in
mission,
bots. You gotta hear it in bots' voice.
I'm the last guy until you go. I don't need to hear this again.
25 main missions. Every time you beat a mission, you get 2 or 3 side missions where you go off
Man, I
as
feel like I'm
different
in Quantum
Spartans.
Break right now.
I know, right?
You know what? Fine.
go.
Screw it.
You
I
go.
already know. If you guys already know,
We
keep
already
going.
know. He already read it.
Good.
to us.
Going.
You
Keep
go.
going.
You do your thing,
That's
bot.
fine.
You do your
No,
thing.
Listen, man.
For the sake of time,
Yo.
we already heard this. So you
Yo,
can-
let me just pull this to the side. Yo, everybody out there, first off, thank you for all the support on my YouTube channel. I am investigating what's going on. I will say that there is a possibility of YouTube having a glitch. All right. With that being said, the only reason why I'm just not leaning on that is because I got a copyright strike on Twitter of all places this past week as well. I'm just putting it out there. If there's anybody in the community, I know there are people out there that don't like me. I know that there are people out there that are quote unquote pro Xbox, and I know there are people out there quote unquote pro PlayStation who don't like me, because at the end of the day, I don't pander to either side. I call it exactly how I see it, and I try to put common sense into reporting the gaming news. I will let you guys know I am not going anywhere. All right, no matter what people try to do, no matter if by some rhyme or reason somebody complained on my channel, which we were doing a show that we have done for over 3 years, all right, and never had anything like that happen, I will let you guys know that, to me, that tells me we're doing something right over there, and there's no way in hell that I am going anywhere.
Damn straight, motherfucker.
You're saying you're not going quietly in the night? Is that what you're trying to say?
Dude, I am not known for that at all, brother.
Oh man. Your frog is not even showing right now. You're so mad right now. That's okay.
Yo, he mad. Yo, my battle toads has turned red, man. I swear.
Yeah, I don't think that Christopher Hart had anything to do with that.
Chris is a cool guy, man.
He's a simple creature.
He likes messing with people, but like when it comes down to it, I've had plenty of DMs with him. You'd be surprised who actually doesn't like me in this community, PlayStation side, Xbox side. That's all I gotta say. Like I don't put it out there because at the end of the day, karma catches up to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I'll keep people from guessing. Me and K Mega can't stand bots.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, why would I put any effort and any energy into those people when I can put all my effort and all my energy out there to the community, to the people who want to know what's going on, and for the people that support the shows I'm on and stuff like that? Why would I give any haters any energy? It makes no sense.
He mad, bro. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. You know what, dude? That was the most bullshit I ever seen on YouTube in my life. So I'm good with it. Like go at him, bro.
It's all good, man. I'm just stating the facts right here. Like if for some rhyme or reason it was a complaint and people think that they can get me out of this community or get me to shut up within the community by doing stupid shit like that, they are sorely mistaken.
Ooh, I like it. This feisty bot is nice. I like that. This is what we need. You know what I'm saying? A feisty bot is a more productive bot. That's exactly what I've been saying. and the one thing about it on top of that is that, you know what I'm saying, the feisty bot allows K Mega to be the feisty K Mega. So therefore I support this 100%, as people also get to see this fire ass gameplay of Quantum Break. Let's go.
All right, so I'm gonna go talk about Halo. So
yes. Do you believe it first?
I believe some of it, yeah. I'm almost like in Crispy's same realm, like 50% of it could be true. I think it's maybe a little higher than that, but we're so far out from this game right now, it's just hard to tell. But What I've seen sounds good. I'm more focused on. I know the multiplayer is going to be fire. I'm not even worried about the multiplayer. The story is what I want, and I really need to be on fucking point. To be honest with you, like if the story is good, because I don't play a lot of multiplayer in Halo. I'll dabble in it a little bit for the first month or so, and then I usually move on to something else. But the story of Halo, from the first Halo till the last Halo, like I'm so immersed in the story that I really want the story to hit hard on this one, because I think it kind of fell to the wayside in Halo 5. I think they need to really work on the story mechanics of the game. Like, would it be cool to play as Atriox, doing other stuff? Yeah, it'd be awesome, but I need to go through as Master Chief or #lock, save lock, go through the story with Master Chief's character, and from beginning to end, and feel like I've gotten more out of it than I got in Halo 5. Because I felt like there was a lot lacking there. So that part of the game is what I'm really looking forward to. Like, I really want them to hit this shit hard this time, and actually, 35 hours of gameplay, or 25 of the base gameplay. I'm okay with that if the story hits hard. The multiplayer aspect of it, if they take away, and that's one of the parts I don't believe. Like, they took away what was the rec packs. I just don't believe that, because it did so well.
Well, they confirmed that they took it away, though. The Xbox did
That
confirm
sucks,
that they took
man.
it away.
I thought that was like one of the coolest things.
The microtransactions, police, they couldn't stand it, and so
Dude, it wasn't
Xbox
even pay to win.
What if?
I know, but that's what they're saying.
What if it was all earnable? Like back in the old days. What if they changed?
Well, hold on. Everything that they offered in the rec packs was also earnable.
Yeah.
And you know how I know that? I earned 100% of anything you can get in those rec packs.
Okay.
I got absolutely
So imagine if
man.
there's not the price involved.
See, but you're not the only one. I've also earned everything without paying for a single rec pack.
How second place feel, bro?
Why don't you tell me? Right now, I am higher ranked than you, my man.
Are you talking the number wise, or just your little meter there, buddy?
Both.
Okay.
So the meter is just creeped over past you, so I'm giving you the opportunity to catch up, because I want to be fair.
Because I'm approaching that 152 myself. I'm behind, but I'm on my way. So yeah.
I'm glad I'm not involved in this game too much.
Hey, look, this Halo thing has gotten serious. You know what I'm saying? I can't catch Bot in Forza, but I will beat him in Halo.
I built up more in Forza, by the way, on the Forza hub. I'm a couple ranks higher now.
He's been paying attention, Don. He's been paying attention.
He's feeling that heat is what he's doing. He's like, oh, I don't need to work.
No, I got to give you guys something to strive for. You know what I'm saying?
There ain't nothing to strive for, because when we
Halo,
let me start a YouTube channel and then get a cancel.
All right, go ahead. Let Pred finish. Let Pred finish.
I forgot what I was about to say.
Oh man!
I already said the story. I want that to hit hard, and the multiplayer. I want to get more involved in it, but I can almost see them going. I hate to say this, and Xbox, please don't beat me for this. I can almost see them going to it like a more of a Call of Duty type structure with the multiplayer, like different characters. And so when I read what I saw. Like, I was like, you get unlockable characters if you do certain things. So like, I can almost see them going that aspect, like in the multiplayer. Like, you start off with, a Spartan, you can unlock, fucking Lock, you can unlock Atriox, you can play with those characters in multiplayer and then start, building off of that. I know most of you guys don't play Call of Duty that often, but like that's basically the structure. Like you do the certain things you unlock.
A long time.
Halo has Call of Duty.
Did K-Mega say about when you beat the game, the exploration that comes out, and using
about that too.
Using the Spartan that you created for your multiplayer to go out and explore the campaign. So that right there tells you that you are customizing your own Spartan for multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right. Get
You know what I'm
Quantum
saying?
Break. Why would they hate on this game, Lord of Jesus?
The only thing I didn't like graphically about Quantum Break is like points in time, like in the elevator, the reflections were weird and stuff like that. But otherwise, how many suspended objects are in the air and stuff that could be pushed around? The game's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Xbox, you can go. I'm not even waiting. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Xbox. Go
Get it
ahead,
off your
man.
chest.
Yeah.
Now,
This is the last topic, so we
you want me to say if I think this is true or not at first, right?
Right. That's the first thing. Do you think that this is true?
I hope it is. And if it is,
give us a percentage on how much you think is true compared to how
I would
much
go,
you think it's not.
I would go right now. I would probably go 70% true.
Okay.
And
you're kind of in the same boat that I am.
Yeah,
and the reason why is they talked about changing the game. And if you remember, like Halo is known for revolutionizing like first person shooters, story wise, multiplayer wise, through Halo 1, 2, 3. Halo 4 had an incredible story. Halo 5 had the best multiplayer, I thought, out of the entire franchise, right? But the innovation seemed to be kind of lacking there, when it comes down to it. So hearing them talk about these campaigns and then filling out the world with these side missions where you can play as Atriox, you can play as Locke, and kind of get the perspective of what's going on with them during that point in the campaign. That's something new to Halo. And I think it's something that, people who are into the Halo universe can really get into. There's a lot of content there that can really drive like the replay value when it comes to the campaign and everything like that. Now, K-Mega, did you talk about them separating the multiplayer and the story and making multiplayer free to play?
No, that part I didn't ask yet.
See, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. And then I was also going to ask everybody once they made their point, how much did they because I was especially Pred. That's why I went to Pred to ask him about. Because see, I don't think Crispy is too much into the PUBG mode style. But I was going to ask Pred because Pred.
You are incorrect.
Oh, you are. So okay, so. Do you guys, you and Pred and Bot, you know what I'm saying? Do you guys think that?
I wasn't done yet, but okay.
Oh, okay.
You're done.
No, because that's a key part to it when you think about it. And like,
go ahead.
If they break off the multiplayer into like a free to play aspect and stuff like that, I actually think that's a good idea. And I feel like
especially if it's free.
Huh?
Especially if it's like a free to play, like.
Yeah.
Well,
If they do
PUBG mode free.
I'm not talking battle royale. They like literally said breaking off multiplayer and making it a free to play, across, the devices that the game's going to come out on. And so with that, you're going to have, and people who are just down for the multiplayer will just pick it up, but there has to be some type of catch there for people to grab the game and get into the campaign. And that's why I think this is true, because having so many things to do and checking out the story from so many different angles as the story keeps escalating, finally getting to the last couple missions and stuff. And for anybody who plays Halo, those last couple of missions are like, yo, what the hell is going on? You're running like, it gets frantic. Like you really get caught up into what is going on in the story. That's why I think this has a good chance of being true, because really, really going in and fleshing out the story, putting in the side missions for people who want more context, who want to know what Atriox is doing, want to know what Arbiter is doing at this point in time. The Mission 4, he was talking to the Arbiter, and then he just walked off to do his own thing. What the hell happened with him? And to be able to go back and then get in and play those side missions, that would be absolutely amazing for any Halo fan, man.
No doubt. So basically, I mean, would a PUBG mode get you more enticed? Are you in support for that mode? Battle Royale, I should say. I'd just say,
See, when it comes to Halo, like we had Warzone, and I played Warzone. I had fun with Warzone. Of course, with having the different weapons and rec packs with Halo 5 and Warzone, that's what got me to play that more. But when it came down to it, and the Don was with me through a lot of this. I'm more of a arena style player. I'm more on the competitive, you know, starting with your BR and your assault rifle, and you know, fighting for the power weapons on the map. I'm not big into like the bigger area multiplayer type stuff.
Like Warzone.
So
Okay.
yeah, so like I mean, I liked Warzone, and with having those rec packs and those different weapons, it got me to play that more, because it's like, all right, yo, man, now I got this Spanker rocket launcher that like does multiple explosions on impact, and let me go check that out. And I got the new Scorpion, the Oni tank, and like it got me to go back in there and play that. But other than that, just because of the size of it and all that good stuff, I'm really big into the competitive PvP arena, so I could care less about Battle Royale, bro.
Okay. All right. Cool. Don, I've already asked you about this. I know this is, like I said, deja vu, but why don't you give us a recap of what you told me on Devin the Gamer about this whole situation with Halo?
This is a Halo I'm not excited for.
Cool.
I've said this before, and until I see more that's the things I care about, I'm kind of tuned out, to be perfectly honest with you. The structure, the mission structure, kind of reminds me of Halo ODST, based on the rumor. I'm halfway kind of think that's why I think it may possibly be made up, because they're just kind of applying that same concept to oh, this would make sense if they did this sort of thing. But I do believe there's probably some truth to the rumor, because that's how people kind of hide their identity a little bit when they leak stuff like that. And there's always going to be truth mixed in, typically with some falseness there, just to kind of protect themselves in what they do at a company. So so I wouldn't be surprised there is some truth to what is being said, but yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm just not excited about this Halo. I liked Halo 5. I liked all the Halos leading up to it, but I feel like this is just a backward step aesthetically. And we'll see where the abilities go and where all that sort of stuff goes, because I'm still kind of iffy about all that stuff too.
Yo,
And
Mega,
I want it to release.
aesthetics mean a lot to this guy. Let's be real here.
No
he
doubt. Yeah,
is a
no,
proud
he's
graphic
serious
whore,
about that.
man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That part is
No, I
true.
don't hide it.
But
I don't
think,
hide it. I don't pretend I'm not, right?
Yeah, no.
But I think it's also a way to storytell, right? The progression of the story is a big part of it. So when you saw, you go anywhere from Reach to Halo 3 to Halo 4 to Halo 5. There's a progression to the armor and the Spartans, and those are the characters you play. And man, I look at what this stock chief is right now, and I'm just like, oof. I just don't want to go back. I mean, I'm going to be playing Halo Reach today, and trust me, it's one of those things I'm going to be like, ugh. You know, I mean,
Halo
I
Reach had some really good weapon designs, man. I gotta say, going back and playing it, and like I did like the weapon designs when it came down to it, man.
Yeah, and then abilities are huge for me too.
Yes.
that layer of gameplay that Halo is, and I comment about the mechanics of it. It's all about tipping the scales in your favor and having a tool set and something that counters everything, right? And having multiple things that can counter things, and getting creative. I think that's where the endless gameplay loop exists. And when people start not wanting to have run or dash, and they have those modes in Halo 5, they're absolutely annoying. I can't stand them. I can't stand going back to that. I want everything to progress. I don't want anything to go backwards. In any games, in any franchise. And if I want to play the old stuff, guess what? They have the old game out there, right? And I can always pick up and play those anytime I want. But I want the series to continue to move forward. And I'm just, everything they've seen and everything they teased doesn't show me that. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Until they show me what gets me into it, I'm just going to hold my breath. And I would say the one thing I would say is probably 100% true is the length of the campaign. I've heard that this is going to be the longest campaign out of all Halos, hands down. So
well, it kind of has to be, because if they went forward through like the whole kind of war between humans and AI, like I can kind of see, and a lot of this is in my imagination, just trying to like structure everything. If Atriox, like, he could have went under the radar as like humans and AI were fighting together. They said that the humans lost. So what does that mean for humanity? What position are they in right now? I mean, we dealt with the Guardians going out throughout the galaxy, you know, and kind of like looking over all the human populations and stuff on different planets and kind of making sure they don't do anything. You know, you got all that going on. I mean, it's building up possibly the flood coming back at some point, in some way or another. It's got to be like the biggest story they've ever come out with, man. There's so much there to bring into the game.
Well, I'm just speaking from the length of gameplay to get through it. So who knows, you know, story wise and how thick that is. That's subjective, right? To some degree. So, but just pure gameplay, you know, exploring the world, that sort of thing. It's supposedly the biggest they've ever, you know, any Halo. So not just 343, like any Halo has ever been produced. So that's the rumor. I do believe 100% on it. So
I can't wait to see this, man. I cannot wait to see. Yeah.
No, me neither. And that's why I just kind of look at it from this standpoint of like, wow. I'm with you, but I even said 80-20 because the multiplayer thing sounds a little fishy because it didn't say anything about Warzone, and Warzone is one of the is one of the most favorite new modes that's came to Halo. So that they have to keep Warzone. I do hate about the red packs, but I am also with Don on this. Is that if they take away the run feature, just because they want to go to the nostalgia group to make them feel like this, I can't support
I
it.
don't think they're going to do that, man.
I
And
mean,
you know,
I think
Don pointed out a thing, you know, kind of like coded in
because I'm
into their
desperately
TV.
looking for hope.
Yes. Like, I don't see why you would take away Spartan ability. You know, one thing about the Halo community, and I think 343 Industries needs to understand this. When it comes down to it, you're never gonna please that entire community.
Right, no. And
Yeah,
they're not
'cause
even
it's so
supporting
divided.
Halo Master Chief Collection. That's the problem right there for me,
Yeah.
is that they're not supporting the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about that, but I mean, whatever. I mean, we'll see what Halo is, and hopefully it wins me back. And I think bots are already all in. I think K Mega's all in. But if you guys don't see a run button, you guys are going to be like
If there's no run
scratching
button,
your
I'm
head a
out.
little bit.
I'm
Yeah,
out.
you
Dude,
okay, cool.
if the Spartan abilities are gone from this game, there is a very good chance that I won't be playing Halo.
Woo!
To be
So
really
you're
honest
with
with you.
us. All right.
Dude,
So
well, the
Crispy,
thing
you
about
seem
it,
like you're the only one that because Crispy said he
No,
doesn't
he's
want the
entitled
run
to
button.
that. I mean,
No,
I'm
no, 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 no.
not going to
I'm
attack
just
him
saying.
for it.
I'm not attacking him for it. I'm saying Crispy is the only one out of the group that says that he wants the Halo to keep the old traditional way of Halo, and he's not the only one because there's plenty of other Halo fans that said that they want that as well. I'm not knocking him for it, but I'm just saying to hear
I
bots
mean,
say
and
it tripped me
to
out.
think of it this way, if you're playing single player, I mean, you could play with the way you want. I mean, if they can pull that off, that would be impressive.
dude, if there's no running, there's no clambering, and any of that stuff, do you know how much that slows the game down?
Okay, but there's a thing called settings. And if they actually implement this, okay, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to do all that like me, or you're going to do all that like you, then that would be impressive. I'm
Crispy,
just saying.
Crispy, check this out. That's like saying, you know, I really like the Matrix movies, but I wish they walked into their fights. And somebody saying, well, you can just speed up the movie on the DVD. You can just hit up tempo a couple times, and there you go. They're running right into it.
Use DVDs, bro. What's going on with that?
Crispy, you just can't do that. Like their core mechanics, that's the problem with it. So you kind of have to be all in or not. I mean, you can have like multiplayer modes like they do in 5 right now, where they disable some of that stuff, and that does exist. Just so you know, Crispy.
We
but
appreciate you,
I
Shizna.
already know that, and that's why I'm saying you can't do
but-
that in a single player setting.
no, I don't think you can, because it
Oh,
changes the whole
okay.
core. Well, it changes the whole core mechanic, right? It's like saying, "Hey, I don't like cover in Gears, and can you take that out?" And the
How
changes
is
the
that?
whole entire
How is
campaign.
jumping and running faster a core mechanic compared to Gears, which is actually cover
Because
based?
it changes.
It is
It's
a
a,
core
it's a
mechanic.
real life mechanic. People run and jump and climb.
Remember all the backlash people got for not having jumping Gears
The
of
whole-
War? I mean, God
the
of
whole
War.
entire level designs in Halo 5 are built around those abilities,
Yeah.
right? So you can't experience like pretty much the game without them. So that's why I'm saying.
But Halo 5 did not do what they wanted it to, and that's what I'm saying.
No, Halo 5
What do you
did
mean?
perfect with the gameplay mechanic. Like, look, majority of people do not have a problem with Halo 5. Like if you do a consensus, Halo 5's multiplayer is the best multiplayer. Nobody wants the multiplayer
so
to
you
change.
separate the two.
The story is different.
You
The people have a
separate-
different between the story, but
people weren't. I mean, people do complain about the abilities in multiplayer and the other. I mean, there's always that base, but
just give them that mode to where they don't have the
but
abilities.
just do it for the multiplayer for those certain modes. I'm not a fan of those being out there, but I get why that they're out there. But the campaign, it would screw up the campaign entirely.
That is a very pimpish white car in that gameplay
yeah.
right there,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
it's just
clean,
really.
clean.
I disagree. I think they could do whatever the hell they want.
Well, they can do whatever the hell they want, but it doesn't mean it doesn't affect it. There's always a cause and
It
effect.
doesn't. It doesn't. If all you gotta do is change the
Thank you,
setting,
music.
I'm
for the
telling you.
zappers.
Yo, dude, how are you gonna change like that? Do you remember back in the day, like Civil War era? Soldiers
Back
used to
in the
line
day?
up. Hold on, it is back. It's way back in the day. But
Well, I'm just asking
check
though.
this out. Soldiers, they used to line up in an open field and walk towards each other, shooting their gun, reloading until they got to a certain point, and then they ran at them with a bayonet. Now, what happened here was the American soldiers started using their ability on the field, and they started hiding in the trees and running and catching them from behind and stuff like that. It makes a totally different like fighting mechanic.
You are
You can't
ignoring
just-
the fact that I'm saying that if they give you the option, more people are going to play the game.
No, I wouldn't, because I know the whole entire mechanics of the campaign would change.
Right. Why they're not
there's-
playing Halo?
Like-
Master
Hold on,
Chief
are you
Collection
saying
like
that they should have a switch on there if you want Spartan abilities or if you don't want Spartan abilities?
They've done it in Gears, bro.
Oh my goodness, dude! I feel so
Do you
bad for
play-
anybody who shuts that off.
Do you play Gears?
They're gonna get lit up.
They basically
Hey,
allowed me to change
Fred
every
might get into some
aspect
Halo
of
5
how I play
multiplayer
the
because he's
game.
gonna take advantage of some slow bastards running
If I
around.
want to, they have allowed me in the options menu to play whatever way I want to play. And
So-
don't get me wrong, I can't jump up in Gears 5. Yes, but I can choose to strafe. I can choose to wall bounce. I can whatever the
Thanks
setting
for the
it gives
follow,
me.
Night Shooter. Appreciate it.
Whatever the setting gives me, I can do the way I want to play the game. And I'm telling you.
I'm telling you right now, try to go through Gears, go through Halo 5, and try not to use the abilities. I would like to see you go through the game and not use the
That
abilities.
doesn't mean that the AI wouldn't change.
It's not an AI thing. It's level design. Level design is based around the core abilities of a character that you play.
So you're telling
Every
me that
game is
all the
that.
other Halos didn't do what I'm saying?
No, what I'm saying is they designed those games around the abilities of the character.
You know what? I actually think, in all retrospect, I think that when you look at more like powerful characters, you look at the character in Crisis.
Hmm?
He can run, jump, got super abilities, invisibility, things like that. That's how I feel like Master Chief and all Spartans should be, especially against Covenant. Covenant are like 7 feet damn tall. They're big. You got brutes that's like damn near 1,000 pounds. You mean to tell me you got a big ass brute running at you?
But you
rather
can't
just,
run.
but you can't run, bro. I
Okay,
know I
all
got a
right, all
super
right,
suit. I know I'm a
all right.
tank, but
I
I mean,
played
not
enough of
every
Doom.
Spartan is a damn.
I played enough
is
of
Master
Doom
Chief
Eternal
to lock.
to know that they can give you those things on the fly.
Okay,
You're not. It's not adding up, man.
all
Like,
right.
No,
I mean,
How is it not adding up?
it's not adding up because it's core mechanics are what games are designed around.
They can give you more mechanics. They can make you. They can move
What are we
you.
talking about?
They
I
can
don't know.
move
I don't
you.
We're talking about
understand why
Halo's
The
multiplayer to
game
run
can
and
the game
to run
can
and stuff like
move
that, yeah,
you.
so.
The
I see.
game can move
I know.
you to having freaking grenade launchers above your head
Crispy
and
doesn't
this and
want to
that.
run
I see.
and
Yo,
I'm
I
telling
see.
you.
in the game.
Hold on, guys.
I
I see.
play
I
Halo.
see. Yo, real quick. I see what Crispy is saying, and he's looking at like Doom Eternal. But even in Doom Eternal, you have a dash that goes left and right and stuff like that. Like when it comes down to it, I see what you're saying. Speed up the game like they did in Doom Eternal.
Bot wants
But
to get autograph from the girl in the fishbowl in his
I already got the autograph.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's something called the heart of Halo. All right, there's something there in terms of especially in multiplayer. There's something there about having like these shielded competitors coming at each other, and there's a certain amount of strategy in between that. And I don't think just speeding up the game like they did in Doom, which is a quality game. Doom is a great game. You know I love that game. But
They didn't speed it up, dude. They warmed you up to it. That's what I'm
No, it
saying.
looks a
to
lot
people.
faster than.
No,
than
I'm
Doom,
telling
the
you,
first
game.
Doom.
they
Well,
warmed you up.
Doom
to it.
2016 and Doom Eternal are fast games. That's why you have no reload and stuff like that. That they want you just out there and pounding it out. But there's going to be a reload when it comes to Halo. Because you're
Crispy,
a super
when it comes
soldier.
to the campaign,
But
it's
you're
it's
talking
either all
about
or nothing.
multiplayer.
Regardless, it's either all or nothing, right? So 'cause they
Your
have-
own experience is totally different from anybody else's experience. It's just like if you went like bot
that has
you know
nothing to do with what we're talking about.
has
Like that,
loved games that I don't like, but
that's not what
because I don't like
Crispy.
the pacing of it.
Crispy. I'm not picking on you. I'm just trying to explain things to you. Okay.
You always pick on me. Get
Oh,
out of here.
oh my god.
Okay. Well, if you feel like that, I mean, you're entitled to that. But
it was a joke, bro.
but I'm being serious to this. It's either all or nothing. Either you're going to be doing it with Run and develop the game around Run and those abilities, or they're not, right? And I respect the fact that you like the older style. But this is where Halo's at. They're divided, right? They're divided amongst people, and we hear it in this conversation right now, right? You're hearing people that are like, you prefer the old way, and other people prefer the the new way. And to be honest with you, whatever choice they do, no matter what they do, they're going to lose part of their audience. And that's just kind of the harsh reality. There's some
I
people
agree with you on that.
that can
I
be
do.
out, and I mean that happens with every sequel and every campaign. Every time Destiny does like an update, like MMO style games, they suffer from this too. Every time they do an update, their community gets splintered because it's not like it used to be, and somebody is always attached how it used to be, and that core thing changes, and then
I experienced it in Division 1 many times.
yeah, and every gamer's experienced it in some game, right? So Halo's been around for a while. Halo 5 did do well. I don't think people realize that, but I think
Right,
it also
Halo 5
received
did
a lot
really
of
well.
hate as well. So I mean, and I think also people look through that lens, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I have my concerns. Other people are excited about the possibilities of that stuff being gone. We'll see what the game is, man.
Trizzy over here, Trizzy, he said my man wants power walking. But anyway, all right. So I got one last thing to ask you guys.
Master Chief of a fanny pack.
before we get out of here, and that is this, right? Okay, so I was explaining this to Don earlier, so I do want to get you guys' thoughts on this. I was in a PlayStation blog, believe it or not, and they were talking about games, and it was actually really productive. It was really cool, but they were asking the main PlayStation person was asking what particular games would have you as a PlayStation fan buy an Xbox Series X, or maybe
Halo.
even be converted. So I gave Don 5, but I'm only going to go down to 2. So I'm going to go to Pred first because he hasn't said anything here in a little bit. So I want you to guess to see which 2 games, because it was a list. It was like close to 300 people that were participated in it, and there was a list of the top 5. But and people in the chat, you could participate as well. But the top 2 games that PlayStation fans said would have them buy an Xbox or win them over. What 2 games do you think that would be?
And these were Xbox games, right?
The Xbox games, right?
Okay. Top 2 games, I would say Halo
Hmm.
and Perfect Dark.
Okay, all right. So those are not the 2. All
Okay.
right.
He's setting you up for failure. Don't worry about it.
No,
No,
it's
no,
probably
no,
some
no.
bullshit games I would never play.
Hey, I'm just letting you know what PlayStation fans think. What PlayStation said they want from Xbox. Not you know what I'm saying, not us, but from what PlayStation fans said that they want. Crispy,
Power
what?
walking.
Crispy, what 2 games do you think that the PlayStation fans are? What 2 games from Xbox that will win over the PlayStation fans?
From Xbox,
Yeah.
they are not already made. Not all of them.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna just let you just name the 2. I'm not gonna give
I
you
would
any
say,
hints.
I would say Fable and Hellblade.
Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting. All right, you have one of those right. All right, so Don, you already know, so I can't
Yeah,
ask you
I'm
this.
staying out of this one.
Yeah, you're staying out of this one. You
Yeah.
already know. So, Xbox 448. You already know that there's one of those games that Crispy said.
That would be Fable.
I don't know. Is it Fable?
Well, that's one of my picks, and I was
Okay,
gonna say
so
I was gonna say Halo, but after you went on Predator, I'm like,
right.
okay, then
Okay,
never mind.
what's the game if you think that it is Fable or another
Fable
the other
and
game
Lost
that he said?
Odyssey.
Fable and Lost Odyssey. All right, so you and Crispy got one of them right. So
That's Fable.
people in the chat, let me know. I'm gonna give it about a few seconds. Let me know. What
it's
you got?
Fable.
You've gotten used to that low latency, man. You're like, yo, let me know.
Let me know.
Fable and oh, come on, it's Fable and what else?
Okay,
Conquer.
so Conquer. All right, so somebody said Ninja Gaiden. Okay, we got Halo. But they didn't say
Jade
Halo.
Empire and Fable.
Jade Empire was definitely on the list, but that was not the game. So okay, so all right, I want to tell you right now because you guys will not get what was the number 1 game. Okay, so
How Fang.
no, bot, no, get out of here with that
Wrath of the
trash.
Black Manta.
What? You said Black Manta?
Wrath of the Black Manta. Y'all
The
remember
Wrath
that
of the
game from
Black.
Nintendo?
I do remember that game, but that's not an Xbox game. Okay, anyway. So so out of the list, there was a list of 5 or whatever, but the number 2 game was Fable out of that PlayStation group. So Fable, and we already know that Fable is coming. That's the worst kept secret of all time. So that will definitely win over some PlayStation fans to buy an Xbox. But the first game, none of you guys would have got it except for me because I've said this game before. So I'm going to give you one more chance because you know I've said this game, but you don't know which game it is. So I'm going to give it again to you. So Xbox, what game have you heard me talk about hoping that Xbox would bring back?
Lips.
Shit, boy, you damn right. Lips is excellent, but that's not it. God dang, Xbox.
Yo, shout out to
close.
Sleepy. We said that at the same time, brother. Look at that.
Lips. God dang it. Okay, so yeah, I think PlayStation fans by the droves would come over if Xbox brings back Lips, but that's not the game. So all right, Pred, last chance. I've talked about this game before. You've heard me say this game before. It's an Xbox exclusive, but you got to go. It's from the OG Xbox or from the 360 era. What game have I talked about on Xbox that needs to make a return?
God, I don't know.
Oh, come on,
For
give
some
me
reason, I
something.
think it's a rare game for some strange reason, but I don't know.
Make a guess. Make a guess. Just say something.
Say Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon. All right. Okay. I know Crispy, you're kind of new to the show, and I know that you probably haven't.
Onimusha?
You know what I'm saying? Say this or whatever. But Crispy, I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna give you a chance before I blow y'all's mind. Right
Shower
now.
with Dad.
Oh, that's on PlayStation. That shit ain't on Xbox. I have not seen that on Xbox.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
I feel so uncomfortable. The show must end. Okay, so Crispy, give me that game. I've said it before. I've said it before. Come on, Crispy.
In other words, K Mega said he mispronounced it before.
No, I've not pronounced this game. Come on now. Come on, Crispy. Give it to me.
I mean, I have no idea.
Man, give me a damn guess so we can end the show so I can eat this steak.
I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give him a hint. Wait a second here.
Okay, Don, give him a hint. Give him a hint.
It's gonna be in the form of a GIF. Wait a second here.
Oh, Killer Instinct.
Okay, watch the GIF. Watch the GIF.
Penis Demon 2.
Oh, look at that! Look at that right there! Look
That's
at
a good hint. That's a good hint, right?
That's a good hint. That's a good hint. That's a good hint. Come on,
That's
Crispy.
not a good hint.
Oh, I know.
What are you talking about? Kotar or something?
Oh, man. Don just did you dirty. Anyway, so it's not Kotar, but Knights of the Old Republic is in the top 5. The PlayStation fans have been asking.
They don't want that, man.
Oh, yes, they do. They want that. Okay, so check this out. The PlayStation fans in the top 5, they said that they want Kotar. They wanted Mass Effect. They wanted oh damn, what was the other game? Had it Kotar, Mass Effect.
Blinks the Cat.
Jade Empire.
Yeah.
Jade Empire, Fable, and then this game right here. Nobody didn't pick it. Nobody didn't pick it. And Kofi, Coney. We need that on Xbox. But the game is.
Hello.
Oh, what? Hold on. Yeah.
Kimmy lost his own list.
No. I didn't lose my list. I was over here reading what Dragonheart Yogi
The list
said.
is written in crayon, and for some rhyme or reason, it's in K Mega's handwriting.
Tagi. That was the number 1 PlayStation S4 game. Tagi. It was an old school successor to if you look at it, to Neo. It was its own type of game, but it was an OG Xbox game. Was made from software. Tagi was a legend. You've heard me talk about that game before, and people love on the PlayStation. They love that Dark Souls, Bloodborne type game, and that game was one of the first of its kind when it first came out.
Don't waste your revenue, Xbox.
So Tagi was the number 1 game for PlayStation fans. So if anybody's listening that are reps or they'll listen to it later and you hear it, Tagi, remake that game, bring it back. Have From Software to do
all
it.
the reps out there, listen to this. Xbox reps. When it comes down to it, you move forward on the path you want to go. Listen.
I guarantee. I put money down.
When you hear PlayStation fans that will switch over, it doesn't matter about switching over or anything like that. What you're trying to do is you're trying to grab mind share. So if it's within your path.
So go with Fable. Bam.
Fable
still complain about something.
Listen. They bring a Tagi. That game is the perfect game to bring.
And they'll be like, "That's not the Atagi we asked for."
Yeah. You'll definitely hear some of that. Hey, listen. Xbox need that genre to come to Xbox for sure.
You mean like how so many PlayStation guys were just waiting for Scalebound to buy an Xbox One? Like, really?
No, yeah. Don. I'm just going. Listen, this was a PlayStation blog, man.
They play Fable. They play some of those games on Back and Pat right now.
Atagi is not. I wish Atagi would come to.
I think you're in a league of your own there, K Mega.
I'm saying what the PlayStation fans said that they want. That was the number 1 game.
I don't care what the PlayStation fans want.
Man, you ain't never played Atagi. You ain't never heard of the game. You never played it.
I got some new footage of Scalebound right here for you. New footage of Scalebound.
Stop it. You're so disrespectful. I'm out of here. Okay, so we're about to get out of here.
Oh no.
We're about to get out of here. Listen, Xbox, if you're smart, go ahead and make hit contact from software, make a Toggy, and you will have PlayStation fans come from all over to buy the Xbox, the
Say
Xbox
this
Series
isn't the
X.
Atagi we wanted.
And for them to say, damn, you know what I'm saying? From Software made another hit. Listen, last year's game of the year was Sekiro. So Atagi is in that wheelhouse. So and Sekiro was a dope ass game. So it's tough, but hey, bring it. Of course, I'd rather would have it engaging, but hey,
to the PlayStation faithful, if Sekiro was if it was an Xbox exclusive, they would have shit on it then. So
they would have
Phantom.
5 million
I was not
copies.
drunk on this one. I was in the block. You know, I couldn't say nothing. My name is totally different than K Mega 405 in there, because if I said K Mega 405, they would have never accepted me as a part of them. But I came in there and I said what I said, and I was like, hey, you know, and then I gave my pick, and then they was feeding off of it. It was pretty damn cool. And also, I had to say, big shout out to them. Big shout out to them because they kept it cordial. There was a couple of fools that came in there that was trying to try to disrespect Xbox, but they kept it cordial. They basically jumped on those people that was on that stand shit by basically saying, look, this topic is about, you know, is about gamers. This isn't about some kind of fanboy console bullshit. You know, this is a legitimate question, and there was a lot of PlayStation fans that participated in it. So there are some out there. So it is what it is. What's up, Megatron? Man, you always come in late because we're about to get out of here. You always come in
this
here
is
late.
Unscheduled, man.
Yeah, it is. It's unscheduled because this is really Xbox show, but Xbox show got shut down, so I just filled in for him. So it is what it is. But with that being said, let's get the hell out of here. I have a wonderful steak that's not mashed potato, but baked potato waiting for me with some broccoli, and I cannot wait to devour that. So let me go to the Don. Thank you for stopping in. You was over here thinking that I got out early so we can get ready to start streaming, but
Yeah, it was a complete fake out, man. I thought we
It
were
was.
gaming, and then
It
I
felt
come
good.
in here, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it felt good.
But no, I feel bot. I hope everything gets back to normal on your channel. Gets all figured out. And you know, I hope everyone in the community, you know, reaches out and does what they can to help you as well. I think you've done a lot for the community. I really, you know, as much as I like to give you shit about things, I only do it because you're a friend. So hopefully that all gets sorted out in the near future. If you want to follow me, Mixer's the place to do it. You know, me and K Meg are going to be streaming Halo Reach later, so we want to play some of that old Halo. So you'll probably hear me just kind of groaning and being a little frustrated because everything's so slow, but I will muddle through it and we'll beat it on Legendary. And Kim, are we looking for 2 more to join us?
Yeah, sure. If 2 more people want to come join us, come on in.
Yeah, if you guys want to get in on that, let us know. We'll have the party. I'll have the starting soon up right
We're
before
playing
that.
on Legendary, so
yeah, this ain't no bailing out on easy. We want the street cred, so we're going Legendary. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter as well. This is Don_KTR, and yeah, get to somebody else for sure.
All right, cool, no doubt. Thank you, Hero Spartan 707, which is Master Chief. What's going on with you, bro? Thank you for the follow, and also Live Phase Gaming. Thank you for that as well. I really appreciate the follow. Let me go to Crispy. Where can they find you at, bro?
Well, all I gotta say is what happened earlier is absolute BS. And we got plenty of detectives on Twitter, or just that, you know, just follow us, talk to us, you know, don't give a shit about the console bullshit, or you know, who's got more views. Figure out who the hell or what the hell happened, and we would totally appreciate it, because it's absolute bullshit. I've been on so many podcasts, so many different, and I've never had something like that happen.
Never seen that happen.
So what I want from you guys is to figure out, even if you're following somebody that we're not following and they go and say some stupid shit and call out that they did it, let us know, dude, because we don't want people like that in the community, at least in our aspect of the community. Like we got no problem with PlayStation gamers, Xbox gamers, Nintendo gamers. We don't care. Like we speak what we think is logical, and that's it. Like it's not like we're sitting here hating on you. We don't do that stuff. We really don't. So in
We don't
general,
pander either.
it was absolute. I've never had that. Never. I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. I've never had that happen. And that is ridiculous. And something happened. Something behind the scenes happened. And I'm sure Bot's going to find out at least a realm of what happened, but I think you guys can find out better. But it's at Crispy Bomb on Twitter. You can find me at Xbox Live, Crispy Bomb 28. Hit me up. I'll play games. And if you love Gears or you at least thinking about it, I'll show you how to play it. And also, on Mixer, it's Crispy Bomb 28. Me and my girlfriend are probably going to start playing some MK11. She's going to whoop my butt with Jade because she's been doing that for a while now. And, Retro Renegades Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And I hope one of you guys show up because I think we're always open. We love having people on. And you know what? We talk games. We love games, but we also have absolutely zero topics. We just bullshit.
Yeah, it is wild. It was wild. It was fun to be on there with Graphic
Feral.
God and them. Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty cool. But all right, so Pred, where can they find you at, and all of the places where you have your name on social media, including Grindr. What's up, man? Let everybody know.
Find me on Pornhub at Don_KTR.
Oh shit!
Next-
oh,
Man, I gotta make money somehow.
Oh man!
Next
God.
podcast next week, and I'll see you guys Saturday. I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna be this week, so here's social distancing basically all weekend long, playing games, Division, obviously, and whatever the hell else I feel like picking up on PC, and get that gameplay ready for next week, and I will see y'all Saturday.
Nice. Y'all already seen a taste of my gameplay. Y'all gonna lose bad. Bot's gonna take it seriously because I've been kind of sleeping on it. I'm coming for you. I'm coming back for my win. Anyway, so last but not least, the man of the hour, the Toad Man himself, which Bleeding Edge is the better game in my opinion. Let's go, Bot. What's going on, man? Where can they find you at, man? Where can they find you at, brother?
Well, first off, I just want to give a shout out to the community, guys. Thank you again for all the support. I am looking into what was going on. I normally wouldn't even entertain the fact of a complaint or people hating out there. And trust me, I have a long line of people.
Hold on, Bot. I just had Emperor's Reign on me.
Yeah,
boy,
see that.
Lord have mercy. Thank you, NYT Music.
They're K-Mega's favorite color.
Gaming. Hey, bro, they are. Hell yeah, they would be your favorite color too if you was over here on Mixer. They are a fantastic color. Keep those pink embers coming. Thank you so much, man, for the support, brother. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. Thank you.
Nice.
I think he called them the Tinky Winkies.
Hey, I'll take Tinky Winky. Give them all to me.
But again, like I normally wouldn't entertain the whole complaint thing, but getting a copyright kind of like strike on Twitter this past week, which I didn't even know could actually happen. I've never seen that happen. I've never had any friends tell me that happened to them or anything like that. And then seeing what happened on the show today. I will say, if you guys got a couple extra bucks and you want to stand with me, go over to my channel, become a member. I have a bunch of emotes that I want to put in for the chat that only members can use, but I have to get to a certain number of people before I can put them in there for you guys. Let people know if they're gonna do all this stuff with my channel. Let them know you're standing right there with me, and every time they try to do something like that to me, they're trying to do it to every single member of my channel. I am not going anywhere. You will see the next podcast this coming weekend. I will do what I have to do to get to the bottom of this and see what was going on. But again, just thank you for all the support, guys, and to be continued, bro.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's just like I said before Bob got here. I just wanted to say, man, I feel bad actually for doing the show here. And that's why I was trying to get you to come on to Mixer and do your show. But I
Well, see,
understand that you was upset and you
here's
need
the
to
thing,
find
K
out what was
Mega,
going on.
K Mega. Here's the thing about this. Like, I've always like stated, I've used Mixer from time to time, just messing around. But when it comes to my supporters, my subscribers, I mean, let's be honest. I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now. My subscriber base is small when you look at the entirety of YouTube, but these are people that I absolutely care about. You know, they take their time to come check me out and everything like that. I will say, underline of all this, and it's something that I've seen other people on YouTube do kind of like different tactics to try to get to, and I'm not that type of person.
Right.
I would like for my channel to be my main source of income, to equal out to like a 40-hour a week paycheck. That's all I've ever kind of like thought about when it came to money on that whole thing. And people are like, stream it to Mixer and all this good stuff. I am dirt ground bottom floor on Mixer, and I spent over 3 years building this channel up to something that I'm like, wow, I can't believe where we are right now. You know what I'm saying? That I'm gonna keep trucking it over there on my channel, keep putting my content in one place, so this way my supporters, the subscribers, the people who care about the content I put out there, they know where it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, look, man, your supporters is always going to be there for you, man. And you know what I'm saying, as a person like me and Don, especially, we've been here with you from the very
Damn,
beginning.
dirt bottom. You
Yeah.
got more than I do. What the hell?
Yeah, and you got more than I do, so I mean, it
Man,
is what it is. So
you
it
need to
is.
give yourself a little more credit. I understand
Right,
YouTube
right.
is your love child, but like, yeah, gotta give yourself a little
Right.
more credit, man.
And look, you know that me and Don would hold you up, man. You know what I'm saying, for you starting off on Mixer, and you also have somebody already just saying, hey, look, man, just start on Mixer. You know what I'm saying? You know, just bring this shit to Mixer. That's the one reason why, is because I've been doing GRG on the show for on YouTube forever, live show. You know, I don't do the whole crumb side bullshit. I just do my show. We have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can get a little rowdy sometimes, but other than that, it's not. I've been in way worse podcasts and live shows for sure. So for me to get the copyright strike for some dumb shit by somebody saying coronavirus, it's absolutely the grossest thing. And I should have screenshot it, because when I was going through for the new policies that YouTube was doing, somebody brought up that main point, was like, look, I got flagged for saying coronavirus, but I look at other channels that's bigger than mine that can say it all the time and they don't get hit. And YouTube didn't reply to them. So it's one of those things where those algorithms, all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying, my channel can, my views can hit sub low, it can hit sub high. You know what I'm saying? It just, you just never know. It's just that it's difficult when you've been consistent on what you've been doing, and then they want to make changes because of the powers that be, and it's a struggle. But I will say this, just like what Crispy said, if we find out that there was somebody that did that, you already know all hell's gonna break loose. I'm not gonna hold myself
Dude,
back, because you're too good of a person
I ain't
for
gonna
that.
hold back, bro.
No, that's no doubt about
it's gonna be all like Donkey
not
Kong,
for
bitches.
anything, man. But like, yeah, I appreciate it, guys. All that good stuff. The person I'd be afraid of if I were them and they did something like that would be Yobi, because I saw him go off on Twitter, bro.
Yeah, I did.
He went off on Twitter. Shout out to my brother Yobi. Man.
And there would be a lot of people that would be pissed off, because the main thing of it is that, look, man, we all have different type of styles. That's the one thing about it, is that everybody can have a same type of voice, or but we all do it differently. And the support factor from whoever's the biggest to the smallest, it should all be all in unison of that you support, regardless if you don't include other people into your
Rising
podcast or
tides
not.
raise all ships. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
We
the real
all,
honest truth.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
fact of the matter is that could be your channel if
right.
someone else does that too.
Yeah.
You know, like
Exactly, and that's what's the point. And let's just look at it like this. I want to make my last point, and then we're gonna get out of here. All you got to look at is BGST. At the one
Yep.
time was the biggest and best show out there for Xbox gamers. Where's it at now? You can only stay at the top for so long before you fall. So you always have to look if people burn bridges, and I'm not pinpointing certain. I'm just saying in the sense of just for people that look at YouTubers and then they look at certain people and everything. You always got to stay humble. You cannot look down upon people once you get to a higher status. I'll never do it. It doesn't matter if my channel stays low or my channel goes high. I will never forget the people that were there to support me and to get me to the point. I'll never overlook 100. I'll never overlook Xbot. I'll never overlook Don or Pred or anybody or 108 Dragons or anybody else that's been hold on from going back from we game here to for what next gen has done to help get a voice out there for me and for also for like for Tim Dog and for B Shadows. I will not ever look down upon those people and say if no matter how high or low that I get will say that I'm better than you because I did something this way or that way. If you get to that point to where you are that, karma's a bitch and it will catch you. It will do that. So anything else that you want to say before we get out of here, Bot?
No, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for rolling with me. Like I said, I ain't going anywhere, man. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go over to YouTube. It is Xbot448. Go ahead and check out that channel and notice that podcast that has the best beats, the best gameplay,
Okay, all right.
and an entertaining panel,
We're
bro.
about to get your ass out of here. No best beats. You got some decent gameplay. You know what I'm saying? GRG's always gonna have the best beats, best gameplay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The panel's lit. We doing it. But anyway, no, I mean we're all basically a family, man. So that's just basically what it is.
We're all in
We have
DMs
fun.
together, man. We're
Best
all.
beats.
I know.
You have your pans out and some sauce spoon, and you're thumping
Oh,
those
we
things.
do. Hey, what people don't know, see, you need to see the stream.
And I make it sound good.
Because we don't. Because I know that a lot of people haven't seen what Don looks like. But if you really want to see what Don looks like, come and check out the stream tonight, and you'll see Don has like 3-inch arms, and he likes to drum. So just check it out. And he looks like John B. So John B with like 3-inch arms.
Don B, baby.
Don B with 3-inch arms. So it's all
Predator
good.
already making him do that Google search for already. So we better go before
we better get out of here. We're out of here, man. We're peace. Thank you for coming and checking us out, man. Bye.
All right, later.
Laters.